Prospective students are interacting with your website before they even interact with you. So make that first impression count. When done right, your online student experience can keep students coming back for a true self-service experience. Statistics prove that students not only want, but expect their schools to offer mobile-ready, self-service communication tools. Enrollment Rx excels at delivering online applicant portals on the Salesforce Community Cloud. FormBuilder Rx delivers a personalized web experience that creates that coveted one-to-one relationship between you and your students. Fully customizable and branded to your institution, our portal displays personalized content based on the status of the constituents' relationship with your school, the required documents, activity histories, and the student's interests and needs, all in a centralized environment that reflects your institution's branding, style, and voice. FormBuilder Rx provides the capability to create complex and powerful pages through an intuitive user interface with drag-and-drop configuration. Administrators can easily create Salesforce communities and site pages using click-snack codes with the ability to leverage both standard and custom objects. Clients use FormBuilder Rx to quickly accommodate the ever-changing requirements of universities and colleges, such as dynamic online applications, missing checklist items, multiple inquiry forms, differing letters of recommendation, and a myriad of other use cases, including student success, career services, and alumni relation needs. The product eliminates the need for software development when creating an applicant or student portal, or simply any data intake form, thus saving an enormous amount of time and resources. In this demo, we will cover registration pages with deduping logic, personalized home pages based on status, term, and program, drag and drop creation of forms for sites and communities using standard or custom objects, dynamic rendering criteria on fields, sections, pages, and templates with a fully configurable user experience, an easy-to-use admin panel to customize templates, home pages, and applicant pages. For questions about this product or any of our other products, email us at asktheadmin@enrollmentrx.com. To show how FormBuilder Rx can provide this first impression for your institution, we'll first take a look at it from the applicant's perspective. I'm on our demo university website. Just like most colleges or universities' websites, I have the major calls to action. Inquire, which could lead to a FormBuilder form to collect new lead information. Visit, which takes you to an events calendar covered in another demo. And finally, apply. When I click on apply, I'm presented with a registration page. This registration page template can be customized with your school's look, color, branding, and you can determine which fields you would like to collect on this registration page to give access to the portal and serve up the associated content. For example, I'm asking which campus a student wants to attend. Then I'm selecting academic level. But if I change this to master's, I would see another set of options in academic program. This registration page also has deduplication configuration to ensure that a new contact record is not being created, because our goal with this product and all of our others is to maintain clean data. We'll talk a little more about this later, but we do not host data on our own servers. So all the fields we're looking at here are with, or at any of our applicant forms, are Salesforce fields. Now, once a student logs in for the first time, or any other subsequent times, he or she is brought to this dynamic home page, which can change when something significant about the student alters, such as major or application status. So we're on a page now that has been configured specifically for our fictional institution, Enrollment Rx University. I will show you how easy it is to do this from the admin side, but in the meanwhile, a student might be able to see on a home page the progression of application status, blocks of content, specific admission checklist items, which the creation of these are discussed in another demo, links to upcoming events, also covered in another demo, as well as contact information for an assigned admission rep. Maybe you even want to add some social media feeds like Twitter or YouTube, so students can get a feel of campus life. I will note time and time again, but all of this can be different if I log in as an undergraduate student interested in biology who has just submitted my application, or as a master's student who's interested in the MBA program who's already been admitted. One portal that changes dynamically based on who's looking at it. As we look at the application itself, I want to point out some of the robust capabilities of the FormBuilder Rx product. On the left-hand side is a list of page navigations. This is different than the checklist items required for admission, which we saw on the home page. You can control which pages a student sees. So for example, an undergraduate student may see family information, but maybe a graduate student wouldn't see employment history. This page also shows us some of the examples of the options to create criteria that is required, such as first and last name, or read only like country of citizenship. This field also demonstrates the auto-populate and dynamic rendering functions. So by choosing U.S. citizen, country of citizenship is auto-populated with the United States of America, and then I can also see related items such as social security number are displayed. Now, if I select international students, and now I can see that I can edit country of citizenship and new fields have appeared, such as visa type and visa date issued that are relevant to an international student. I can also display additional fields if an applicant answers positively on a question. So if yes on military service, could then show more questions for me to answer. By using this type of dynamic rendering, students can start the application in the same place, but then logic branches out to lead them into different directions based on how they answer certain questions. Again, this is configured with drag and drop mouse clicks. On this page of the application, we're looking at the concept of record selection, which we talked about briefly on the registration page, but here it is in more detail. Academic program and term are both objects that store all the available pick list values. However, employing record selection on the field level only brings back the options that are relevant. This means you only have to add a new program or major one time, and it will be available anywhere on the application, event registration, or request information page that you use it. On this page, I'm going to show a lookup field. This is the ability for you to have a field that looks up into an object. All high schools and universities, as well as businesses, organizations, etc., are stored on an object. By typing in the word green, I am being presented with anything in the object that has the word green in it. Then I can choose the one I want, such as Evergreen Valley College. And now I can see I selected the one in San Jose, California. This prevents applicants from having to manually enter into their previous institution and potentially creating duplicate organizations in the CRM. However, maybe my high school is brand new, and it really doesn't exist in our records. I can click Educational Institution Not Found and fill out the information I need. You can then assign this as a task for an internal user to verify and update the records accordingly, so we're not, again, creating duplicate organizations in the system. Another functionality I want to show here is the Add Another. And I'm using this functionality in regards to recommendations. There's lots of other use cases for this. You can set the minimum number of records a student must add, as well as a maximum, and also determine a minimum requirements. So here I have recommender already listed, but I can click Add Another. Then I can select type of recommendation. Please note that as I change my recommendation type, the paragraph of content also changes, which is part of that FormBuilder logic. And once I fill this out, my recommender will receive a personalized link, such as this one, with student information as well as recommender info and the option for you to decide whether or not to collect quantitative data as well as the ability to upload a document which then attaches to the student's record as a file. One more area to highlight before we get under the hood is the upload button. Here I'm asking a student to upload an essay, but it could be recommendation, picture, additional forms, whatever you want. And you can set the criteria on file size and type as well. So let's see now how easy it was to create this portal in the pages. I'm in Salesforce, and I click on the FormBuilder Rx tab to bring me to the admin interface. I showed the example of an applicant portal, but you can create multiple portals for different audiences, such as parents, international agents, etc. Here, I can see a list of my environments, or my portals. FormBuilder provides the ability for version control. In my applicant portal, I have version 3, which is my live version, and version 4, 5, 6 are my test versions. You can clone a portal and all of its templates and pages and configuration so that you can make changes or edit it in production without having an interruption in service to the users before you set the new version live. Below, we'll see some tabs which we will go over. First, FormBuilder Rx comes with a comprehensive getting started guide. Our implementation is very hands-on, but this guide will help cover basic information. Next is the template builder, where you can control the look and feel of the portal and pages. FormBuilder comes with pre-built templates that you can customize with your colors and your images, etc., and is ADA compliant and mobile first. However, schools can use their own HTML coding to create new headers, footers, etc. Here, I've just loaded an image of our fictional school, ERX University, and I've used our color palette in order to create that customized portal experience. Next is the login configuration. The login configuration is what we discussed in regards to the registration page. You can have multiple registration pages and bring in new fields and instructional text and employ that deduping logic, which is crucial for maintaining clean data. Next is the homepage builder. The homepage builder Next is the homepage builder. FormBuilder Rx supports multiple versions of a homepage. We have one school that has 30 different versions. So here you can set the criteria of when the page should render and when the widgets be part of it. So if I look at my example now of admit decision, I'm going to click here to build, and when I'm brought here, I can see what this looks like from the admin version. We saw what it looked like from the student version just recently. So on here, I can set the criteria of when this page should render, what widgets should be part of it, and then as I go through, I can resize, move around. I can resize here. I can resize, move around. There we go, move around all the existing widgets, as well as add new ones to the page. You also can add additional logic inside this. So for example, if I click on this widget, this is my decision widget. So if I click on action, I can see that I have now Next is the homepage builder. FormBuilder Rx supports multiple versions of the homepage. We work with schools that have many upon many. Next is the homepage builder. FormBuilder Rx supports multiple versions of the homepage. We have schools that have dozens of homepages in different languages and different configuration. And here's where you can set the criteria of who should see the page, when, why, how, etc. So I'm going to take a look at a sample of our homepage widgets by looking at admit decision. So this is what it looks like from the admin side. So you can see there's already some widgets here, and I can move my widget around. So if I take widget 3, maybe I want to make it a little bit bigger, or maybe I want to move widget 9 down below widget 3. It's very easy to drag and drop, as well as add additional widgets to that page. Finally, the page builder. This tab lists out all the pages that exist within this portal. So let's take a look at employment history. By clicking this tab here, Configure, I'm brought to this version of the page. This is how we set all the read, write, rendered, required, auto-populated, and record selection criteria on the page level, so that this page, employment history, only will show if a student is a master's candidate. You can also use that same logic on individual sections inside this page. So, for example, only show current most recent employer section if you say you're currently employed. On the left-hand side here, you'll define your data sets. As mentioned in the beginning of this demo, all the fields we're looking at are Salesforce fields. We're just adding our FormBuilder skin and functionality on top of it. With FormBuilder, you can use any fields from any object, but first you must define which ones you want to use for this particular page. I can edit the contact data set, and on the right-hand side, I can see all the available fields that exist on the contact record. I'm already using these two over here, but maybe I want to bring in, say, birthday. And I'm going to go ahead and hit update. So now I can see it's ready for me to be used on the data set. So now I want to add a field from our data set onto the page. So I can choose current job, drag it over, double click, and then this allows me to work with this particular field on this particular page. So I can change the field label from current job to maybe saying current full-time job. Or maybe I want to say only render this if the condition of current job equals true is answered on the question. I can then add another section if I like, or a matrix, or perhaps the additional components such as upload, where I can change the label to say resume, and maybe I only want to allow PDFs. This same functionality can be done with paragraphs, lists, buttons, etc. And as we wrap up this admin portion of the demo, I want to again reiterate how easily configurable and replicable this process is, and how it can be deployed for a myriad of different portals or forms for your particular use cases. For any questions about FormBuilder Rx or any of our other products, visit us online at enrollmentrx.com or email asktheadmin@enrollmentrx.com.